How many times have you done this?
It's my third time. Some trips too busy to get up to the tiger's nest, but it's always worthwhile.
Does it take it out of you?
Oh, yeah. Not as fit as I used to be.
Leading a group from Australia is former Deputy Prime Minister Tim Fischer, a man renowned for leading journalists on long walks in the bush.
They good?
He's been visiting Bhutan since the 1980s, first as a politician, but these days as a lover of the great outdoors.
Behold.
Today's climb is to get a glimpse of the most famous monastery in Bhutan, the Tiger's Nest.
But tourists are not allowed ultimate entry into the monastery. It's a very sacred site.
This is one of the jewels in the crown, is it?
It is the ultimate icon Buddhist monastery of Bhutan. It was burnt down a few years back, but very carefully reinstated to its brilliant dimensions. A bit more gold, perhaps, than the last time I saw it.
How hard is it going to be for Bhutan to preserve this kind of natural heritage if they allow in thousands of tourists?
Well, I don't think we're going to see golden arches on the tiger's nest, and I'll be very cranky if we do, but we won't.
Tim Fischer is a friend of the king, though not even he won a royal audience this time round.
This king leads on the front foot. No Swiss bank accounts, no Learjets, lives in a log cabin. He's a very humble man, very modest man, married to 4 sisters, kids by all 4 sisters. Immediately, people will think, well, he must be some form of playboy. He's, in fact, anything but.
And I see him as my king, and if my king has 4 wives who happen to be sisters, it's his choice.
So it's not a matter that his subjects have any debate about?
I mean, why would we? Why would we have a debate on it? We would have a debate if there was riots on the street. We would have a debate if our people were going hungry. We would have a debate if our forests were being exterminated. I mean, we respect our king's choice.
For Bhutanese, challenging the motives of the king is tantamount to treason. They're still coming to terms with his decision to share power.
Here in Thimphu, the capital, is Bhutan's parliament, the National Assembly. It has around 100 or so members, including a dozen women. There are no political parties, no opposition and no independent MPs. It does, however, have a Prime Minister and a group of ministers who, together with the King, rule the country. At the moment, they're drafting a constitution. It's Bhutan's first, and it's due to come into operation sometime in the next year or so.
In the future, Bhutanese will vote for their politicians in free elections. For the time being, though, they've got government-appointed MPs like Dorji Bidar, a single mother and former civil servant. She's represented these villagers and farmers for the past 6 years. Today, she's reporting back on decisions made in the National Assembly and to hear what people want next.
I think it's very important. It's very important because that is the only level where our public can reach over there and speak out what they have in their mind and what they want the rights to be done by the governments or the ministries.
It may look like a golden land of plenty, but life at the grassroots is grueling. Less than 10% of Bhutan is arable. The majority of Bhutanese are subsistence farmers, performing back-breaking work in the field for hours and days on end. It's a living, but for people like 48-year-old Sharing Dolma, it's a tough one. Working alongside Sharing is her 25-year-old daughter. When she was growing up, there was no school in the district. It's different now for her 10-year-old twin sisters. Now, more than 90% of Bhutanese children go to school. But old traditions remain. All school children, like all citizens, are expected to wear the national dress.
With the line segment and the arc means, right? Yes.
Children are schooled in basic subjects, but here emphasis is placed on the values of living in harmony, controlling anger, overcoming jealousy and selfishness, and promoting tolerance and patience. It all reinforces the notion of gross national happiness.
That's what His Majesty had always been telling us, and we really believe in such a thing, because to live in a society we have to live in harmony. So just now is the right time for our kids also to learn.
The call to prayer, Bhutan style. Until the 1960s, the only schooling available was in monasteries. It's a tradition that continues. These young boys have come from all over Bhutan to be educated and ordained as monks. Karma Gaelic is the principal of the monastery. The chief patron of this Thimphu monastery is Crown Prince Dasho Jigme Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk. A ceremony to formally install the young Crown Prince as the next in line prompted the biggest production ever mounted by Bhutan television. Never before has this royal rite of passage been witnessed by ordinary Bhutanese. But it's well to remember that more than 70% of Bhutanese still have no electricity, much less access to television.
We are at a stage where we have loyalty from our viewers. They are very, very loyal to us. Our transmission starts from 7 to 11, and if you went to a Bhutanese house, you would be watching BBS television.
Loyalty, royalty, and the Buddhist culture that shaped Bhutan for centuries influenced the country's novel Gross National Happiness Index. In the remote Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan, a nation-state is a state of mind.